Hello there, my YouTube friends and fans! Welcome back to 7 Days to Die. I have done many videos about this game and I always played this game on my Mac. And now I'm actually playing it on the console. I was like, I want to be comfy. I don't feel like sitting on an office chair anymore. I want to be in my recliner and just play this as long as I want. So I purchased it for the console. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that you have to purchase the game again for another platform, but it is what it is. I love this game so much. And they just came out with a new update. There's a lot of new stuff to the game. And like always, they kind of make it so that you cannot use your previous save anymore, which kind of sucks, especially, you know, if you put a lot of work into your base and everything, you basically have to start from scratch. But I actually kind of have gotten used to it. I don't mind it anymore. So I was just eager to see what they changed. I was actually pleasantly surprised to see that some things are still the same. Like this lake and all the houses around it are exactly the same. Nothing changed here at all. And I was happy to find that my little house that I always used as a base also still exists. Yeah, here we are again. This all feels very familiar to me because nothing changed, literally. I just had to plant a couple more trees. It felt a little bare to how I remembered it last, but absolutely nothing changed here. Not the terrain, not the driveway. Even this old pickup truck is still here that I can't drive, but I leave it here as decoration. Again, I had to remodel the home. I closed the basement entrance. I made myself a water collector again. That's like the most important thing. And some farm plots so I can plant some stuff. Right now, there's nothing there. I have to seed it. But other than that, yeah, I'm working on this house still. I haven't not fully remodeled it yet, but I make improvements to it as I see fit. And, you know, I have the materials for it, obviously. Last time I remodeled this whole kitchen. I did the floors at least. This still looks bad. And I added some charm to this dining area. I got my little living room, added a plant there. And then the best thing of this house is this beautiful big basement where you can see where I kind of blocked off the stairs to the outside so zombies cannot kind of surprise me. And yeah, here are my workbenches, the ones I have so far. Last time I had tons of stuff down here. I am planning on doing that again. And yeah, kitchen is very functional. And then upstairs I have my bed and some more storage. My medical stuff is all up here. My bed is here. And then I made this balcony here. I always do that because it's really cool when you have like somehow like a way to get out of your house and see what's going on around your house, especially at night. Basically just made a hole into the roof and then made like an entrance. And then I can also go up here and kind of, you know, have a 360 view of my surroundings. I can plant some stuff here. It's perfect. I did exactly the same thing I did in the last game. And I was so happy to see that everything is just like it is on PC. There's really no difference. I mean, the quality of the graphics is the same. The game pretty much runs the same. There's a little hiccups here and there, but I think I had them too when I played on PC or Mac for that reason. There's little hiccups here and there. As you can see right now, some frame drops going on. I think there's a little bit of a difference where it runs just a tad bit slower than it runs on PC. But other than that, yeah, pretty good. Pretty nice looking game for sure. The one thing I did notice though is like when you like up on a higher point and you look in the distance that you notice that things don't really render in well. It's kind of bare. And I don't think that was the case when I played the PC version, but I could be wrong because it's been many months since I played Lost. Sometimes I forget certain things, but that's one thing that I noticed. One of the things that is new now is that when you pick some of those tree trunks to hopefully find some honey, is that once in a while, some of those tree trunks have a swarm of bees in it that chase you down and can do a lot of damage to you. The first time that happened to me, I was like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? How did I do this? Does that mean that when there's bees, there's honey? No, that's actually not the case. Every time bees are attacking me after I pick one of those trunks, there's no honey at all. And the ones that don't have bees, they often have honey. So I don't know why they did it this way, but I think they just wanted to add a little bit more excitement to those otherwise boring tree trunks. But thankfully they're still here. So if you don't have antibiotics, that's a good way to get antibiotics into your system. They also still have those airdrops, which are amazing. And when you play again, all the default settings are on. So for some reason, now seeing this airdrop on your map and compass is now a default. That wasn't that before. You had to actually set it like so. Another thing I noticed is that all of a sudden there are a lot of caves now, and those caves are treacherous. If you're not careful where you're actually stepping, you can fall really, really deep. But those caves are really cool because you find really good loot in here and also a lot of mushrooms, which you now need more than ever before. And no matter how careful I was, I slipped and fell, not here, but in another one of those holes. It is definitely quite treacherous, and then you're not alone when you fall down. You get instantly attacked by a lot of zombies, so better be ready. I didn't really read about all the changes, so I was quite surprised when this happened to me for the first time. I was like, what is going on? Are we like starting a war, or what? Can I not be here? It says storm warning, seek shelter. And I was like, shelter? I can't go into any of those houses. They're full of zombies. Where am I gonna go? And then I was like, oh, it must be just this zone. So let's see if I get out, if I'm gonna be fine. And yes, actually the storms are just in the particular biome you're in. If you get out of the biome, you're fine. But if you're like in the middle of the biome, you won't be able to get out. I once barely made it out and I wasn't even in the middle. So if you try to seek shelter, you're probably out of luck because all the houses are full of zombies, and yeah, there won't be like a really safe place. But yeah, and then I think the storms only last for like maybe 10 minutes or so, like real time. So you just have to kind of hang around and drive some donuts or so. Kind of try again, like you can see here. As soon as I get into the biome, the storm starts again. And that storm does damage to you when the counter runs out. So it is definitely a good idea to get out. And so we're trying one of those trunks again. I wanted to see if I can find some bees so you can see the swarm coming out. But no such luck today. But the biggest change they made to the game is that now when you start a new game, you can no longer just freely visit all the biomes and kind of just go start exploring them. Because now you have a 2-minute timer, a little bit more than 2 minutes, where you can go in and then you need to quickly get out if you don't want to die. At first I was like, well, how am I going to do any jobs in there now? I cannot complete a job in 2 minutes. There's no way. Do I need to get a gas mask? What do I need to do? So what they did is that you eventually, as you can see, I'm riding my bike around here very casually in the burnt forest, but I had to work for the right to be here. So the way it works now, they have badges for each biome, and you have to earn that badge. Once you have that badge, you can then freely roam that biome. So they have a new category here where you can see burn survival, desert survival, snow survival, and wasteland survival. And then you have to do 7 challenges for each biome. You can see here you have to collect mushrooms, craft a burnt smoothie, that's new, harvest nitrate powder, and so on and so forth. And you can imagine that this is not that easy because you can only spend 2 minutes in the biome. So I have to kind of dip in and out to get those challenges completed. And of course, also make those smoothies, which I will get to later. And then once you have completed one of those biome challenges, you go to the nearest trader and then you get a badge, as you can see here, that you can equip. It automatically actually equips as soon as you get the badge. And then you can start working on the next biome and do it all over again with different challenges. And here are the smoothie recipes that are all new. So once you make a smoothie with those ingredients that you have to find, and there's mushrooms everywhere, so you need a lot of mushrooms and water. And then depending on the biome, different ingredients. And then once you drink one of those smoothies, you have a lot more time to spend in the biome. So it helps a lot to have those, so you don't have to dip in and out so frequently. But you still are limited in how much time you can spend in each biome until you actually have the badge. And with those badges, they also added new zombies like this Plague Splitter zombie. And what actually is giving me a hard time here is not the actual zombie, but the bees that he spits out if you don't kill him quickly enough, which can be a real pain, and you have to get 10 of those guys. And that doesn't sound like a lot, because first I saw like 2 in a row, but then all of a sudden I thought I had a hard time finding them. The other thing is also that they can cloak themselves, so you think there is none of them anywhere, and they don't really kind of appear until you're close to them and they already start spitting bees. So you have to be quite fast in taking them down if you don't want to get killed by the bees, which is kind of embarrassing. I mean, I'd rather be killed by a zombie than by bees, right? But I really like this challenge. It's interesting to finally see some new zombies to deal with and kind of learn about their weaknesses and strengths. And I was so happy when I could finally check off this Lost Desert Survival Challenge to get my badge. And you can go to any trader to trade in your challenge for a badge. Here I just got the badge too, and it will automatically equip. So you can then use that to do the next challenge here, which is the Snow Survival. So it says here, wear biome badge 2, which is the first challenge. And then you do all the other challenges after that. But of course, you can mix and match and do challenges in different biomes before that. But in order to complete them, you kind of have to do it in order. And one thing I noticed is that the character is a lot more lethargic. I don't remember that it was like this before. I feel like as soon as it gets steep, you can barely get up with your bike. You have barely any stamina. I mean, even if you see that the stamina looks full, sometimes the character just doesn't move. And that's a bit annoying. I don't know if that's just a bug or if they intentionally just made it harder, but I feel like the bike riding is almost as fast as just walking fast. It feels like not much of a difference, so I definitely can't wait to get the mini bike and then the motorcycle and then the Jeep, of course. It just feels to me like it takes a little bit longer to get good things now, but again, I might just imagine that, and you know, it's been a while since I played Lost, as I mentioned. And here we go. Now we have a storm in the winter biome and I'm being forced out. And yes, there are snakes in the snow. That's a first. And in the winter biome, you have to kill so-called Frostclaw zombies. Those are some interesting characters for sure, because they can pick up rocks and throw them at you. And don't laugh at it, because those rocks do a lot of damage. It takes like about 2 rocks and you can be down quickly. I was kind of underestimating them at first. I had to learn that the hard way. As you can see, I kind of dip in and out because I want to save the smoothies for when I'm in a pickle. I feel like I don't really need them. I have like 3 Frostclaw zombies at once right here, which is like a buffet, which is awesome because sometimes you can walk for miles and not see a single one. But at least those guys cannot cloak themselves, so when you see them in a distance, that's them, and you're gonna just snipe them out. But what I learned is that you actually do have to be in the actual biome to get the challenge accounted for. Because if you like shoot them from another biome, then it doesn't count. So I had to also learn that the hard way. I got way more than 15 of those. So it took me a little bit of time to get them all. But there are some really fun characters for sure. And bring a sniper. It's totally worth it. And of course the shotgun too, if you want to just run in and get them fast. Whatever you prefer, but that was definitely fun. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot to mention, I actually also used the same horde base as I used in my last save. It's in the same location, the same building. It's the radio station, which has an amazing roof where the zombies literally can't get to you until maybe like day 300 or something. So you don't even have to build anything. You just have to kind of like fix the walls once in a while. But it's been just a complete blast. I had so much fun playing this, and it's just as much fun on console as it is on PC. There's literally like 2% difference maybe that you barely notice, so I highly recommend it if you're not sure. You should get that on console. But the one thing that I always say to people is like, don't put too much work into elaborate bases and all, because you're gonna lose it all. You know, I know on PC you can roll back, but why would you? Don't you want to get the latest updates and crazy fun things? So it's definitely wise to not build an elaborate base. Just build something that lets you survive every 7 days, and otherwise just have fun, explore the new zombies, the new maps, lots of new things, new buildings that they put in, the caves and everything. Just have fun until the next update. That's what I do, and that's what I would recommend to anybody I care about. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and maybe it helped you, maybe it didn't, maybe it just was entertaining. I hope it was. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, happy gaming, take care. Bye-bye.